My daughter testified against me in court. She was 9. She stood in front of the judge wearing the dress I bought her for her birthday, pink, with little white flowers. She wouldn't look at me, not once. Her mother's lawyer asked her one question. "Are you afraid of your father?" She nodded. That word, afraid, it hit me like a freight train, because 2 weeks before that hearing, she was sitting on my shoulders at the county fair, laughing so hard she got hiccups. I have the video, time-stamped. Her face covered in cotton candy, screaming again on the Ferris wheel, but none of that mattered. My ex-wife had spent 6 months coaching her, rehearsing her, turning bedtime into rehearsal. I know this because years later, my daughter told me everything. But in that courtroom, all the judge saw was a terrified little girl, and I lost everything. Full custody to her mother. Supervised visitation once a month in a government office. I wasn't even allowed to pick her up from school anymore. The first supervised visit, my daughter sat across from me with a social worker watching from the corner of the room. She slid a drawing across the table. It was the two of us at the fair, stick figures on a Ferris wheel. She whispered so quietly I almost missed it. "Mommy told me to say those things. I'm sorry, Daddy." I wanted to scream. I wanted to grab that drawing and run it straight to the judge. Instead, I folded it carefully, put it in my shirt pocket, and told her it wasn't her fault. She was 9 years old. She should never have been put in that position. Not by her mother, not by anyone. I kept every single drawing she gave me during those visits. 1 drawing per month for 7 years. 84 drawings total. When she turned 14, her mother moved them to another state without warning. Didn't notify the court, didn't tell me. I showed up for my Saturday visit, and the house was completely empty. I sat in that driveway for 2 hours, calling a number that had been disconnected. I hired a private investigator, found them in 6 weeks, filed an emergency motion. The judge ordered her mother to comply with the visitation schedule. She ignored it. I filed for contempt. Nothing happened. The system failed me over and over again, but I never stopped filing. 38 motions in 4 years. Every single one documented. Every single one either ignored or delayed. So I started recording video messages, one every Sunday morning. I'd sit at the kitchen table, press record, and just talk to her. Tell her about my week, hold up the drawings I'd saved. Sometimes I just look into the camera and say, "I'm still here. I don't know if you'll ever see this, but I need you to know I'm still here." 437 videos. Every single Sunday for over 8 years straight. I never missed one. Not when I had back surgery. Not when I lost my job. Not on the Sundays I could barely get through a sentence without breaking down. 2 months ago, I got a message on Facebook from an account I didn't recognize. One sentence. "Dad, I found your videos." She was 23. She'd been going through her mother's old laptop looking for tax documents and found a hidden folder. Her mother had been intercepting my emails for years, saving every single one. Hundreds of messages I thought were vanishing into nothing. But she'd also found a USB drive I'd mailed to their old address years ago. A neighbor had held onto it and passed it along. She watched all 437 videos in 3 days. She called me on a Wednesday. I almost didn't answer because I didn't recognize the number. Her first words were, "You wore a blue shirt in video number 312. You held up my Ferris wheel drawing and said you still carry it in your wallet every single day." I reached into my back pocket. It was still there, folded so many times the crayon had smeared and the paper had gone soft. She flew out the following weekend. When I opened the front door, she was standing on my porch holding the stick figure drawing, the original one from that first supervised visit. She'd taken it from her mother's house. She looked me in the eyes and said the thing I had waited 14 years to hear. "I was never afraid of you, Dad. Not for a single second of my life." We stood in that doorway and neither of us could move, both terrified that if we blinked, the other person would disappear again. She visits every other weekend now. Last Sunday, she sat at my kitchen table while I set up the camera. I pressed record on video 438, but this time, for the first time, she was sitting right next to me.